Hey doing, legends? Thanks for holding out on me. I had to drive back from Sydney up the coast and get back home after a lovely Mother's Day. Well, until the end where I had a massive blow up. That's probably the biggest blow up I've had in a good while at that Val Holmes effort there at the end, and the Cowboys effort in general. It's been absolutely disgusting. So we're going to kick it off with a Cowboys rant, which is I've got in there as number 5. We're doing it right now. I had a long time to think about this, about doing the rant. I haven't thought much about what I'm going to say, apart from the fact that was absolutely disgusting. Val Holmes, what are you doing? This year, right? I love you, mate. I love you. But this year, you've dropped the ball a lot, like errors. You run hard into a tackle, bang, ball's out. You're ready to throw an offload, ball's gone, right? In this scenario, I know what you were doing. You were trying to get bust through the tackle because you think you're the best, and then get around and make it a bit easier for you to kick. You bang him from the sideline. Don't worry about it. Just put the ball down the line. You were over the line before he even touched you. Put the ball on the line. Wow. Ugh, the frustration that came out of me in that moment when it happened. For one, Cowboys. Number 2, Val Holmes is my Supercoach captain today as well. So, disgusting how that ended up, that situation. And you've played so poorly the whole game, Cowboys. You finally get an opportunity to get a try, and you're like, oh, I'm just going to try and make it a little bit better. Put the ball on the line. If he actually scored there, the Cowboys likely won that game. They did not deserve to win. I'm glad that the Titans won. For them, like they've worked so hard, and they had 4 injuries in this game, and you still couldn't even win, Cowboys. The side-to-side nature of their football right now, the lack of defense, especially in that first half. Yes, second half was much improved on that front, but it's more the fact that they just had the ball the whole time, and Titans kept dropping it. And, they were just throwing the ball around cows, and things were working out a little bit. But, yeah, that was disgusting. That moment was terrible, and there's a big moment there. Like, Drinky made that 50, 60-meter break, right? And God, I hope he gets that line break in fantasy. Obviously, traded him in this week as well. That's part of the rant for the Cowboys because he's, obviously a big part of my team there. And, I really wanted him to get a 50. Like, would have been nice. He thankfully turned it around a little bit. It was 2 in 30 minutes. But, like, he makes that break, right? Awesome. Good work, Drinky. He's going to do it, once a game, something like that. Pull off a bit of a, great play. They get tackled, or he gets tackled, gets it out. First receiver was Chad Townsend. He runs sideways 5 meters, waiting for someone to come. Right, Drinky gets tackled, and then by the time 5 seconds of him getting tackled, play the ball, get it out to Townsend. He trots over for a couple of seconds. There's still no one for him to pass it to. He ended up having to take the tackle himself, and that stunted all momentum that the Cowboys had. That epitomizes the effort that the Cowboys have thrown up this year. Attack, they all want to show off what they got. Jeremiah Nanai has actually been playing incredibly well. Like he keeps popping up in great spots. He's running good lines. He's getting in great positions for try scoring opportunities, off kicks and the like. That's been awesome. Chad's been doing some good things as well. Dearden, that drop ball off the chest. Like they're just the constant, not singling out people. Obviously, the Val Holmes one was just a product of, dude, just put the ball down. Like it's not hard. We know what you were trying to do, but just put it down. But overall, the team, the effort plays defensively, the effort plays in that section, it's so obvious to everyone watching. And this is what we talk about each and every week in this video, in the 5 things that we learn about just effort and how important it is to just get wins in this game. Like you're seeing some terrific effort from teams like the Dolphins, and they continue to win football games. You're seeing it with the Knights, and they continue to win football games, 20-14 over the Tigers. Yes, Tigers aren't the best team in the comp, but they've won 3 in a row without Ponga. I'll talk about them in a sec. Dogs and the effort that they're putting out at the moment, it's absolutely incredible. Sharkies, they're playing great football, but it's all on effort plays and being in the right spot, and then they can show off a bit of their skill later down the track, and that's exactly what happened with the Titans here. A team that lost 4 of their players by the end of this game, and they might be out longer term. We might see Foreign out for a bit. Unsure on AJ at this point, but sounds like it was very painful, and groins can seem to be a bit of an awkward one. But Harley Smith-Shields out for a long time. I said I'll get into the injury update here in a sec, but these type of teams there, they're just putting in effort week in, week out, and may not have all the talent in the world. Yes, they do have Brimson, they have Fafita, Foreign as an incredible playmaker in this team, but it's all on effort and determination, and it's something that the Cowboys are completely lacking, and it's absolutely disgusting at the moment. And hopefully this is the wake up call, because that was shocking. And yes, they came out and played better in the second half, but how many times are they going to let teams just dominate them? Like the amount of hands tackles and just letting Brimson go through and letting other guys get through from very normal runs. Like, yes, a little step on the inside, but I think everyone in this league can have a left foot step or a right foot step. That can be slightly effective. So that was enough from me. That's the rant of the week on the Cowboys. It's been a long time coming. It obviously affected me bringing in Drinkwater this week. And look, I think next week, if they don't get a rocket up and smash the Bunnies, then they're in a world of hurt. And I've brought Drinkwater for this run. And if they're going to play absolutely this bad all the time, because it's getting worse and worse, to be honest with you. Like, you saw that game a couple of weeks ago, and they actually put effort in against the Panthers when Cleary played, and they almost won that game. And they can come out against lesser teams. Titans are playing great, as I said, but they had 4 injuries in this game. Come on, guys. Yes, they came back in the end when they lost the last 2, but like, you're having injuries to important outside backs like Phil Sami. We know what he does, and that shuffled things around. And to have that for the entirety of the game and still play like this was terrible. All right, let's go through injuries now. That's something we need to focus a little bit of time on, just because it's been a little bit of a rough couple of weeks. So we obviously lost Pap last week. We lost Cam Murray. We lost 3 from the Bunnies, which you all know about. But coming into that first game, thankfully for the Dolphins, they got through it fairly unscathed, to be honest, which was good on their front. If I'm not mistaken, that was a little bit of time ago. Let me just check the minutes from those guys just to go through it. Bromwich got through fine. Nichols, Kafusi, Plath was the head injury, so he'll be out next week, guys. Just the quick one to note there. Connolly Lemuelu got through it really well, which is great news. And they didn't play Kenny Bromwich. He was fine, but Plath will be out with that head knock this week. And then the big news out of this one was obviously Sabi with looks like he'll be sort of a 6 to 8 week as well, with his AC joint complete tear, grade 3. So that wasn't good on that front, but the rest of the guys got through okay. Gordon Chan-Kum-Tong had the head injury with Max Plath, and he came back on for the last few minutes, so he's good. Turbo's out for, I think they're going to bring him back after their bye in round 18. It's the week after, so yeah, that's the situation with Tommy. You're going to have to sell him, unfortunately. He's out for a good while. For the Panthers and the Dogs, obviously Cleary's the one that went down in this one, and he's out for, it looks like, a couple of months, so not good on that front. Great news on the other side of the ball with Kraz. Looks like he got through that knee issue that he had to play through, which was great. And everyone else on the Panthers are all good. And I imagine they're going to get Sorensen back fairly soon. But for the Doggies there, Connor Tracy came back with authority, and he did really well, which was good. He had Preston return, no problems at all. Salmon played 49 minutes, but it was just because Preston returned. Max King looks much better as well. So good news for the Dogs for once, that they were able to avoid injury in this one. For those who are asking questions around the minutes of Piakura, he was just pretty average, and they're playing Jack Jasewski now on that interchange bench. Joey Lustig, again, it was just a change for them. Madison was fine as well, injury-wise. So yeah, they got through well. The Eels and the Broncos, on the other hand, Billy Walters out with a wrist injury. Not sure how long that one's going to be, but I don't think it really is too relevant, apart from, if you were someone that was looking at maybe Smoothie as his replacement. He doesn't play 13-16 as well, so that's probably the main issue. But with the wrist injury like that, it's not too long, depending on the severity, but we'll have to find out a little bit more on that one there. Moving on to the next one, Tigers up against the Knights. There was 14-20 in here. Kaipi's Paul, guys, he did play 40 minutes, but the main thing with him apparently was to get him a rest coming into this game. So that's why he played the lesser minutes. David Armstrong got a head injury assessment in the 70th minute. He went off and apparently passed it, which was good. So you'd say, copped a knock there. Tyson Gamble out for an extended period of time. Looks anywhere between 2 and 3 months at this stage for Gamble. Again, I haven't got full prognosis, but he's not in a great way, unfortunately. And you should see Cogger come in, or maybe a Will Price or something like that, but most likely to be Cogger at this point. Elliott and Crossland all good with their minutes, and same with Tyson Frizzell. He just got a spell. On the other side, we lose Bateman anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks. So if we hear it's 2 weeks, maybe we can hold him for sure. If it's anything longer than that and he misses round 14 as well, I think that that one extra week, because we're going to miss him for round 13 anyway, that one extra would be a killer. But we are going to wait for an injury assessment on him. And yet Stafford Toa with 14 minutes there with his injury. So he's out with a hamstring again. And what General Physio said, I think we're about to pass in round 10, which will likely pass it in round 11. Touch wood, hopefully, not many go down next week. We're about to pass what we passed for the entirety of the year last year with hamstring injuries. So super sad on that front. And it's just shown that this season is very, very tough on that front, and why fantasy and Supercoach has been really, really tough this year. And for those of you guys that are still here, I absolutely appreciate it. And we're all in the same boat. Like, I thought I had a really, really tough week this week. I ended up making ranks, right? I had the Harry Grant issue. I had the Bateman issue. I had the Hines issue. I had Plath with his head injury. I had Plath's VC score. So I got the 31 from him when other players got 77 from Crichton as their double. And I still made ranks this week. So it shows that you can get through this tough stuff and everyone else is in the same boat, right? Some people really made ranks this week if they got a good captaincy score or something like that. And some people really lost ranks this week. Obviously, everyone's in a different boat. But just keep that in mind and keep playing the game, guys. It's going to turn around eventually, and all it takes is for your pod player to get a ton like Bradman Best in this game, in the Knights Tigers game, for you to just have that smile on your face, which is what we're here for in the grand scheme of things, is to watch one of those games and your player has an absolute field day. It's exactly what you want there. For the Dragons and the Rabbitohs, on that front, it was a pretty easy one there. Obviously, Francis Molo, 32 minutes. I believe he is all good on that front. And everyone else got through this game well for the Dragons. And then for the Bunnies, it ended up a good one for the injury front for once in their lives, that's for sure. We moved to the Storm Sharks game, and Ari Grants was just a sin bin. He's fine health-wise, and I still can't believe that was a sin bin. Absolute shocker on that front. Sua far longer got through well enough, which was nice, and then everyone else was completely fine as well. Obviously, minutes-wise for Liero was down a little bit, but they all got through okay. And then the Sharkies, they were able to get through fairly unscathed as well. You just had some bigger minutes from he didn't have bigger minutes. Why did I say he had? That was strange. It said in that video yesterday, this morning, God, it's a long time ago, that he had 60-something minutes. So it was just big minutes from all the starters. Obviously, Hines losing him was the big one from this game with the calf, and let's hope that it's very minor and he's going to play next week. But if he doesn't, I do think that he's going to be a hold, unless we hear anything further that it's probably more than a couple of weeks. But I do think if he is out for the next 2 weeks, let's say around 11, round 12, that he probably doesn't get picked for Origin. But it's very, very hard to say that, knowing the injury price that is happening at the moment. For the Roosters and the Warriors here, did we get through this one? I can't remember off the top of my head. We had, who did we have? Hargraves, Collins, all good. Watson played most of the game, which was nice, and Smith just came up. They got through this one well, which is lovely. And then the Warriors, Sean Johnson's the big one here, so looks like he's carrying his shoulder pec in that first part of the game, and then unfortunately then he got a tackle where they pushed his arm, almost felt like it looked like out of a socket, and really stretched that pec, which was obviously already hampered, and he managed to battle out a lot of this game, but he was absolutely discomforted when the game got a little bit more out of reach with 13 minutes to go. He's come to that injury, unfortunately, and he was off. It was not good at all, unfortunately for him, and we'll have to await what's going to be happening with Sean on this one. And again, just shows how tough this game has been this year. Hopefully he's okay. We'll need to find out a little bit more on Sean, but I think he'll be unlikely to play next week, that's for sure. He's got his Achilles problem as well, which he's been training a little bit more, they've saying, so that's been getting better, but hopefully this is a very minor thing and he can get back on the park in the next week or two, because they need him. Man, they need him. And then Wade Egan just came off the bench in the end in this one, so they tried to take the sting out of the game with Joey Lussick. And then that final one there, Titans and the Cowboys. I was going to make this a short and sweet video, but with so much going on, I think we need to give everyone a little bit of an update on what's happening there. For the Titans, as I said, they lost 4 of their players, so Brimson, a groin issue. Groin can be day-to-day, General Physio said, but he said that he was in a tremendous amount of pain. It was painful plus was what he said in there. So could be okay news, but we'll have to find out on that one. Could just be out a week if it's more of a day-to-day, week-to-week thing. but we'll see what happens. Phil Sami looks like he's out for a while. Unfortunately, didn't look good there. Harley Smith-Shields likely to be a punctured tire, basically. For some of these guys' chest, ruptured pec, unfortunately for him. So it could be out for another 3 months, which is tough. And then Foran off with another hamstring, and Farrell's ended up coming on and playing those late minutes there of 22, and that hilarious. That's going to work out. That there's every chance that he'll end up playing 9 next week and getting minutes next week. So it wasn't this week, it'll be next week there in that one. But big scores there for a bunch of these players too. Crimson went down. Oh, okay. Please tell me Scotty got his line break. Where is he? 27? He got a line break, bro. Oh, God, you're going to get blow-ups from me already. So he went down 2 points, gained a tackle break, got the offload. Where's missed tackles? Okay, so still 4 missed tackles. Oh, that's a joke. So they didn't make a kick, right? Tell me how this isn't a line break. Foran kicks it, or whoever it is kicks it. Comes down off the hands into his lap, 5 meters out from their line. So where did the Titans come from? 40 out, running. Drinkwater takes it, runs all the way through into their Titans half, and you tell me that's not a line break? Wow. All right, 27 points. I'm not angry, you're angry. Cotter went down 1, Drinkwater down 1 or 2. Finafiriaki up 2. That's good for you. Good for owners there. But yeah, Brimson went down 4. Rough. For owners of him. Jolliffe down 2. What are they doing? Just trying to make everyone a little bit more upset coming into the end of the week. Even Fafita down 2. All right. That's enough on that front. Enough on that injury front. But Cowboys end up getting through unscathed, which is good. So how each team is looking following that carnage. So you're looking at the Panthers there. They'll be completely fine. We know what they can do over the next few months. They just got to get Cleary back for the finals. They'll be sweet. Dogs are looking good at the moment. I think they'll beat a bunch of teams now with the injury tolls. Dolphins in a really good place. They're getting a few of their players back soon. Flegler and the like, which will be good. Flegler probably after their bye, close to it. Eagles with Tommy out, they're going to have to work out, if it's going to be Cola or if it's going to be Garrick and how that fits. And that'll be very interesting to see over the next few weeks. Eels and Broncos there, 30-14 victors. And yeah, they're in a decent spot there. They'll be fine. Eels, they've got to sort things out. Thankfully for them, Talangi looked better. Moses likely returning this week or the next, so they need to start working things out there. Knights are in a really good spot. Tigers in a little bit of spot of bother with Staffatoa out after just coming back, and obviously Bateman there as well. So hopefully they can sort of turn things around, but they're in a little bit of strife for the next few weeks. Knights in a good spot. Dragons and the Rabbitohs, so no injuries in that front, was good. Rabbitohs in a world of hurt, obviously, with where they're at, and Dragons, they'll be competitive with a few sides. Storm, tough loss for them. Obviously, a few things didn't go their way with the Harry Grant thing and whatever else. But Sharks were in really, really good hands with Atkinson. It was super impressive from him. Roosters was just the SJ things that puts them in real strife. And then the Titans as well. They fought so hard for this one. But if they lose all those guys, if they lose Foran and Brimson, then that's tough for sure. And I doubt that they'll be able to win next week off pure grit and determination. And then the Cowboys, they've got so much to sort out, as we said. Raiders, they're in a good spot after their win as well. And hopefully they can come out and do a good job next week. So we kind of spoke about this already, but the team showing up and putting in good work. I just want to shout them out again. The Titans are doing good things. Roosters are killing at the moment. Sharks, very, very impressive. The ability to beat a big team in the Storm, yes, with a few out, but doing really well. Dragons, somewhat. Knights, very impressive on that front. The Dogs, very impressive. Panthers, obviously we know what they can do, and the Dolphins just really stepping up and putting in a great performance. Want a big shout out to Atkinson. You had Brayley and McInnes sort of helping out in there, but Atkinson steered the ship and helped them get to an amazing win. So a massive shout out to him. Wanted to have a big shout out to Armstrong as well. He created chances. He probably could have scored one himself, as well as that try assist that he had. He was a very important cog to get that win. Trey Fuller, obviously being a rookie there, big shout out to him. He's done an awesome job for replacing Hammer, which has been great. Set of 3 there. Ethan Sanders was solid for the Eels without being able to do too much. Dion was able to play all right there for the Bunnies, and then who else from there? Titans today, Titans Cowboys. Yeah, not too much from there. So that was a big few shout outs there. Congrats to them. Cowboys rant. Let's finish it off, guys. So last week for the fantasy tip there, we spoke about seriously just make injury changes only. Play the long game. That's the pivot I will be making from here, is what I said. And I still didn't exactly uphold to that. So playing the long game would have meant playing with 16. And I do believe over the coming rounds, we are going to have to play one short or something like that, just to get through and not overload and lose all of our trades in the next month or so. By like round 14, 15, 16, be absolutely cooked. 17, whatever it is, like 3 or 4 rounds short from when we get extras. And like if you're someone that can, for this week's tip, let's just carry that over. If you want to do really well this year, regardless of injury luck, I don't want to hear someone ask me again if someone has a couple of average scores asking me if they're a sell. Like if they're a 500k guy that you're hoping for about a 40 every week, and they start to get 28s and 32s and 33s, if their name isn't P. Kura, Mr. 10 this week, where you could probably sell him just because of the price, and there's some cheap guys that can get in. But if you've got 500k guys that aren't injured at this point, that are scoring a little bit under, there's every chance that they can go back and score well the next week, right? So just hold, please, just hold. It's the only way this year. With how many injuries there are, we just have to do it that way if you want to do well. Otherwise, you will just run out of trades early, and you had fun trading while it lasted, but overall rank by the end of the season and head-to-heads and stuff, you're going to miss out on, unfortunately. So sorry for the massive rant this week. I think I had to get it out of my system, and I hope that you guys as well jump into the comments and get your rant out for the week, so then we can move on, get into round 11 and enjoy the footy. But obviously, as a Cowboys supporter, it's pretty tough at the moment, and the injuries and stuff for fantasy and Supercoach has been tough as well. But so get it out in the comments. No, blow-ups to certain people or anything like that. You can be frustrated at players for what happened to your scores, but no personal attacks, and get it out of the system. And let's move on to next week. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you in the next few videos tomorrow.